What's going on, all you wild lawyer enthusiasts? Your two favorite criminals are back here for Cinefellas. I'm Logan Myers, my good mate over there.
And I'm Henry Hill. And tonight we've got a doozy for you. We're talking about Disney Plus's new show. We're talking about Marvel Studios' She Hulk. Hulk Smash. That's right. We're talking about She Hulk tonight. Me and Uncle Logan Myers here. Just watched this show. It just premiered today on Disney Plus. Highly anticipated show. We saw the trailer, land a month or two ago. The CGI looked a little iffy. People were questioning whether it was going to be any good, but me and Logan had faith in it. Tatiana Maslany being the lead, we knew somebody that was charismatic enough to lead the show and a great actress. And that gets us into She-Hulk, talking about She-Hulk. We're talking about Jessica Walters here, the character. She's a lawyer. She's trying to make her way up the ladder, become a better attorney. And in the first episode, we are kind of introduced to her, and we are given the story about what happened to her and how she became a Hulk, because she wasn't just like born like that. Something happened along the way. So right away, what I noticed from the show was Tatiana Maslany is very charismatic. She's very likable. Right away when you meet her, she breaks the fourth wall in the show. It's very meta. She's always looking at the camera, talking directly to you, the audience, to us that are watching the show. And she tells us about the story about her and cousin Bruce going on a little road trip, and then something happens, and that's what makes her turn into a Hulk.
I love Tatiana Maslany. Huge fan of Orphan Black. If you guys out there haven't seen it, it was on BBC. Really phenomenal. Huge fan of that when that was out, her playing all these different characters. And then where her career has gone since then, being in the MCU, finally playing Jessica Walters, as you were saying, lawyer, and then eventually turns into She-Hulk with her cousin, Bruce Banner. So on a little road trip, they get in a car accident. There's like this spaceship. So they go off the side of the road. Hulk's blood gets in her, and she becomes She-Hulk. Pretty much straight to the point, 5 minutes into the episode. Little backstory, how she becomes this character, which I read a few comics, but I never knew exactly how she got these powers, how she became She-Hulk. So that's cool how they explore that pretty quickly for people that aren't familiar with the character or the source material. They get right to the point. It's really cool. It's very lighthearted, a lot of comedy with this. Mark Ruffalo returning to play this character, so there's a lot of good comedic bits between the two bickering cousins and her discovering these powers, how to control it. He has this lab in this remote island that was given to him by Tony Stark, Iron Man. So there he's doing some testing on her and how to control this. He has this huge like manual journal thing he wrote for like a long time, figuring out how to control it. And she can really control it a lot better than him. And when she's the Hulk, she's also Jennifer Walters at the same time.
I really like those two together. They worked very well together. You believe them as cousins. They had that playful banter, busting each other's balls, like cousins would. Just a fun show. Lighthearted, like you mentioned, a lot of comedic bits. And I liked, the scenes with them where he's trying to teach her, how to be a Hulk, basically, how to throw things, how to land and punch and do all that. And it's all about her trying to control her powers. But as we find out, she's a woman. She knows how to control her anger better than a man. So she's on top of the game pretty much right away. It takes about, not even 5 minutes of scenes with Bruce Banner. And he's like, yeah, you're pretty good. How do you do that? How do you control that so well? And she's basically like, I've been doing it my whole life. It's not a big deal. So we know that she can control her powers way better. Another thing I noticed right off the bat, the vibrant colors, the purple, the green, obviously, with Jessica Walter turning into Hulk. I liked everything looked very, very good on the screen. I like the island, the backdrop of those two being green, being on the island, fighting. The CGI, it looks just like it did, with any of the other Hulk stuff in any of the movies. It's CGI, it's all CGI, but it doesn't look bad. It looked like they polished it up. For the most part, it looked great. There are a couple parts that are highly unbelievable, but it's the Hulk. You got to you got to suspend your disbelief, obviously, and just go for it for the characters. And Tatiana Maslany's character, Jessica Walters, very likable, like we mentioned. So that's most of what happens throughout the story. And then at the end, we get her back in the courtroom. Another thing that I noticed, it's pretty much, besides Bruce and Mark Ruffalo, it's pretty much an all-female cast from the get-go here. It was, the creator is female, the show, the director. So it's it's going to be authentic to Jessica Walters. It's going to be the perspective of a young woman being a lawyer and having to deal with these superpowers. So like Miss Marvel, that was kind of dealing with that too. Also, with that being the teenage aspect, but this one, feels like we're getting a new, fresh perspective. And I look forward to the weeks to come. Who are we going to see pop up? I know in the previews it showed Abomination, Tim Ross character that we've seen before. So just looking forward from this. We got a pretty good introductory episode, and it left me, wanting more and wanting to know what they're going to set this first season, what the whole arc of the season is. I can't wait to watch more. It was fun.
Yeah, it was just a short glimpse of an origin story, how Jessica Walters became this She-Hulk character, and then they get right to the point. A really fun episode, really vibrant, had a really good vibe to it. The whole atmosphere was very lighthearted. All female driven show, which I'm all about. I think it's fantastic if it's done right. And they really knocked it out of the park with the first episode of this. It's got my interest. I thought it was a lot better than originally anticipated. Just all the hate from the CGI, which I'll admit, yeah, the face still kind of looks a little goofy on her, but everything else looked pretty, more polished compared to the first trailers released. Ruffalo's Hulk looked great. But again, it's a Hulk show. So you're just going in to have fun. And I love how it's lighthearted, how she talks to the camera like a 90s sitcom, how she introduces the episode of her becoming this character. And being able to control that and also be a lawyer, which is really cool at the end of the episode, showing some action scenes and kicking some ass in the courtroom. So I thought that was really cool. So that being said, the show definitely has my interest. I had a great time with the first episode. It was about 30 minutes long, currently streaming on Disney Plus. So I'm going to give episode 1 of She-Hulk, now streaming on Disney Plus, a 4 out of 5 Tatiana Maslany hair pieces.
I had a great time with She-Hulk too, better than I expected. Tatiana Maslany is very charismatic, likable. I'm going to follow this character for the whole season. I'm in. Gave me what I wanted, have fun with it, and see some cool action scenes. Can't wait to see her interact with other, people in the real world, how she'll, turn into Hulk in certain situations and how people will respond to that. We're going to see some characters from the, the MCU come in too. So I can't wait to see her overall arc and where it's going to go from here. Great introductory episode. Didn't really give us any hints as to where the story's going, but gave us, a great introduction to this character who I too hadn't read any of the comic books. So with that being said, Uncle Henry here is going to give Marvel Studios She-Hulk a 4 out of 5 Steve Rogers hair pieces. Oh, Captain.
Yeah, speaking of which, there's a post-credit scene. If you guys didn't know that out there, having to do with them drinking and her blabbing about something. So it's really funny. It's totally what they're going for, the tone of the show. So I really, really enjoy that. It's not taking itself too serious, but it's also getting to the point too, and showing people that aren't familiar with, the comics, what this character is all about, and very interested to see who shows up along the way. It's a Marvel show, there's going to be some big players showing up along the way. So we're interested in hearing from you guys. What did you like about the first episode of She-Hulk? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these wild meatheads on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website, cinefellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie news, and reviews.
So this has been our review of Disney Plus's Marvel Studios She-Hulk. We're now introduced to yet another new character for the MCU, giving it some, fresh work from a new character that we haven't seen before. Can't wait to see where Tatiana Maslany takes this character, probably into the movies and beyond. It's going to be pretty fun watching this. She's a great actress. Haven't yet watched Orphan Black, but heard all the rave reviews and knew that she played a lot of different characters in that. So can't wait. And can't wait to see where this show goes from here. But I had a really fun time with this first episode, and I think you guys will enjoy it too. So with that being said, me and Uncle Logan here have to get back to the gym and Hulk up if we want to compete.
Maximum effort, boys. Maximum effort.
And as always, don't forget my 2 Miller Lights too.
She